And we're back on the Mana Symbol channel. It's a beautiful Mother's Day. It's probably, I don't know, 15, 16 years to the day where I won my very first ever JSS tournament. Yes, it was on a Mother's Day. Yes, I went and had dinner with my mother afterwards. We are playing a 4-color, quote, Creative Breach deck in the modern format. So this is the deck that I registered with fairly minimal testing for yesterday's challenge, and I feel very confident about how good it is, despite my 1-2 drop finish. I did lose to, of course, Grixism, First Turn Negator, who is a fantastic competitor on a very similar deck to this. It was a semi-mirror match, let's call it. And I lost to Red-White Prowess, which had some pretty powerful draws, and was, again, a deck that you just really can't do that much to diffuse unless you have access to black cards. But what we are playing here is an Emrakul the Aeon Torn's focused deck. Emrakul is a 15-mana legendary creature Eldrazi, 15/15. Spell can't be countered. When you cast the spell, take an extra turn after this one. Flying protection from spells that are 1 or more colors, Annihilator 6. And when it's put into your graveyard from anywhere, you shuffle it and your entire graveyard into your library. So Through the Breach is one of the common spells played with Emrakul. Through the Breach allows you to put Emrakul directly onto the battlefield with haste. And since Through the Breach is an instant, you can do this either during your turn to hastily attack your opponent for 15 with Annihilator 6, or you can do it at the end of your opponent's turn. Your Emrakul will stick around until the end of your turn, until the sacrifice trigger will happen, since you've already passed the trigger point, which was the end of that turn. Additionally, we have Indomitable Creativity, newcomer from Kaladesh. This is very similar to Transmogrify or Polymorph. So this says destroy X target artifacts and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until an artifact or creature card is revealed and exiles that card. Remember that point. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield and then shuffle. So that one tiny clause about exiling them means that this card dodges Grafdigger's Cage, but it does a lot more than that. One, you can target multiple things. So if you have multiple creature tokens and or artifact tokens, as this deck is wont to produce, then you can target all of them, and your opponent's spot removal will not stop you from putting an Emrakul into play. As a matter of fact, you may end up with 2 or 3, but that's okay. You just put any number of them into the graveyard, more than you need. And another thing is you can use this on your opponent's artifacts and or creatures, which comes up not a huge amount, but more than one might think, especially to do with the card Ensnaring Bridge or certain large threats from your opponent's deck. So it's a very, very interesting way to go with this deck. And one of the things that I played a bunch of Through the Breach blue-red control sort of shells, tempo-ish decks right after the release of Strixhaven, particularly because of this card, Prismari Command. And while Through the Breach Emrakul is a fantastic card combination, which I really enjoy playing, one of the downsides of that deck was it's a 2-card combo, and sometimes you just can't find one of your 2 cards. Now, admittedly, that's not really something that on average maybe I should worry about. On average it shouldn't be a problem, except that I was in fact finding multiple games where I was pressed to 28 cards in my library, 25 cards in my library without finding a single copy of my 4-ofs. I would have a Through the Breach but no Emrakul, no Through the Breach. It makes it really difficult. But with this deck, we have 8 copies of effects that put the Emrakul into play. And since we're going to play the Through the Breach with 4 copies of Emrakul anyway, the Indomitable Creativities are sort of a freebie. Sort of. But also, one of the interesting things about this deck is that the Indomitable Creativity angle is so often played on its own that opponents will play in such a way that they assume that if they just spew all their removal on your token creatures and token artifacts, then they will assume that they are safe, and they may not be from the Through the Breach. So I took that concept. Spiderspace was streaming a Jeskai Creative Breach, which is on my YouTube, and I have streamed recently. Which I did quite enjoy, but I felt like I could get even more power into the deck, be even more greedy, as is my style by splashing into green additionally and playing Wrenn and Six, as well as some acceleration in the form of Explore. His deck was featuring Teferi Time Raveler along with this package. I even have a main deck Timely Reinforcements and 2 more in the sideboard. This is a hedge against the unbelievably high number of Prowess and otherwise decks that have been around recently, so I don't feel bad about playing this in the main. I sort of had an extra slot to play around with, and I was thinking, do I want to try to play against some of the control decks, or do I want to play against some of the aggressive decks? I think between Wrenn and Six and Teferi, this deck actually does a really good job of hassling control decks. They really can't just let you sit around with Wrenn and Six all game, because if you get a Wrenn and Six emblem with Remand or Lightning Bolt, that can really put them in a bad place quite easily. And of course, Teferi Time Raveler shuts down all of their interaction, which allows you to combo pretty freely. I've won a number of games by playing a Through the Breach or Indomitable Creativity to distract my opponent, then resolve it to Teferi, and then resolve my payoff card at a later time. Our sideboard's a little all over the place to cover the major threats of Modern, so I'm not going to get too in-depth with all of those things, but we're just going to hop into a league and see how she goes. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday wherever you are in the world. Played a really crazy all-in Emrakul list yesterday with special guests Lawson Sandy, the Zanman 1414, Mordekaiser all the way from Argentina, and of course Blitz MTG from the wonderful Mill community, the Crab Stan himself. The King Crab, I believe, is his current Twitter handle. Had a number of very fun recent leagues on my YouTube, which you can find at the link in the chat right now. That should be on your screen, and it is just a good time. Oops, All Gear Hulks is my current recommendation for the most fun recent full league stream that I have done. However, I also recommend the 2 mana moments. Those are slightly shorter little clip videos that for the first time I felt incentivized to throw up online, because I just had a really, really good couple moments on stream and people were clipping them for once, and I just thought, you know what, let's preserve these, because these were good moments, and you don't always get those. Alrighty. JMoney8771. Yeah, we're going to keep that one. That's a good one. So turn 1, Ketria Triome. Very likely turn 2 Mountain into the Wrenn and Six, and we have a backup Wrenn and Six in case we are facing down any kind of discard or any kind of aggressive deck that's going to kill our Wrenn and Six. Being on the play is just crazy good. Oh, Tron. Opponent has no Jegantha, so the assumption is that they will be on E-Tron, but that may not be the case. Fetching a Triome seems weird to you. Explain how. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. Welcome, Chase. I was looking for your stream this morning while we were starting up the Serum Visions podcast recording. Not that you're obligated to. I'm just telling you we love you, and we'll be happy whenever you do decide to get back on the horse there, buddy. But if you have wonderfully distracting real-life things, then that's all the better for your life. Hey, man, that's a great choice. It's okay. We'll all be ready when you come back, all right? All right, opponent, I have done the unbeatable opening in Modern. What say you? Oh, no. Roy, it's a matter reshaper. What are we going to do? Oh, God. There's no escape. It's so shapy. Shapely? Whatever. So thanks to Teferi, I actually can instant speed this creativity. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn, feeling more than a little confident in my ability to take this game home with a 15-15. I would have guessed Eldrazi and thought that the life loss wasn't important. Yeah. You two don't look it in the eyes. I really hope that they have like a temple and they put a Matter Reshaper into play and attack me. Or Reality Smasher. I really, really hope they have a Smasher. Don't look it in the eyes. Where are its eyes? Is it these little things? The little lava hooks? Oh. Thought not? Nope. Ballista. Fucking Ballista. I have no fear. And am make mother. Whee! Oh no, Big Mom is home. She's thick. Thick as a brick, my friend. I want to draw a Triome with Wrenn and Six. That's why fetching it was weird to you. Yeah, the thing is, Strifo, if I want to cycle a land, I'm going to play Lonely Sandbars or Forgotten Caves. I'm not saying that you're never going to cycle a Triome, but the thing is, because they mandatorily enter the battlefield tapped, in this deck, my overall plan is usually that I want to fetch them out early to make sure my colors are solid, because unlike Legacy, there's a large number of matchups where your life total is really going to be taxed, and you don't have dual lands. So getting, yeah. So, all right. Hand is fine. Prismari Command is fine in this matchup. It helps us against their sort of quote-unquote more powerful draws that are sort of prison-esque. Prisonesque. Qu'est-ce que c'est ça? Une Matter Reshaper. Sacre bleu. Je n'ai pas le Matter Reshaper. C'est une 3-2. If anyone's convinced by my accent, my French is actually terrible. But my accent is pretty okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I think it's more to the point though, Chase, that 3 mana is just kind of untenable in terms of actually spending that to cycle in any matchup that isn't like a very long control matchup. Like, I suppose in some control games it would be right to leave one of the Triomes in the deck to try to. Oh my god, dude! Turn 3, so many turn 3 kills, so many turn 3 kills. Stupid prowess decks. Give us Force of Will or Riot. What the hell did they take? They took my Prismari Command? Okay, that's a choice. So I guess I'm going to take a bunch of damage this turn. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plus 5. So if I shock too much here, I could just die to a Smasher. So even though I could explore twice, I think I'd rather not. Yeah. So if what I'm actually worried about is them having a Smasher, we'll just put Dwarven Mine in here as if we're representing that this is something they need to deal with. And then assuming they don't have the last Tron land, they'll need to use their land to play the Smasher to put me to 1. And then I can Creativity out and Emrakul and then die. Oh, well, they've got the last Tron land. Oh my god. Ballista X4? Okay. So we're just all in on draw an Emrakul off the top. Okay. Nope. Oh! So close. So close. Yeah. It is a it's a combination of factors that makes Modern faster than Legacy, but the general wisdom, I believe, is that Modern is faster than Legacy. Like, it's funny to me that Delver is like one of the fast decks in Legacy. It's like, yeah, they'll kill you on turn 5. It's like, whoa, slow down there, Legacy. But then again, Legacy has a bunch of turn 2 kills, so that's not really a fair comparison. Opponent takes a mulligan. Excellent. No, see, I don't have the Strifo Pan emote. I need to fix this. What an incredibly on-topic quote. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, deck. No! You've got to be roying me, opponent. No way. Okay, good. I was like, there's no freaking way. Okay. So I can just let that resolve. I assume they take Creativity here. And I can decide what to do from that point. Because our plan here is to play one of our 2 Prismari commands after this. And basically the only modes worth checking, worth using, is draw 2 and create, or draw 2, discard 2, and create a treasure token. And the reason that is because while I could shatter or shock this Walking Ballista, I'm going to have a treasure token in play. So if I draw Creativity, I get an Emrakul. And if I draw a Breach, I get an Emrakul. They could take my Creativity, but that leaves me with an Emrakul, which means I can draw the Breach. Good that they did that, because I think that is the only correct choice for them. And then we go draw 2 and create a treasure. And if we draw a Breach, we can play that too. So we have the maximum number of great options on this. Of course, we hit none of them, but that's fine. We're definitely probably maybe going to be okay. Can play Wrenn and Six, ping the Ballista, and then play a Dwarven Mine for a blocker. That is a plan. Because I can't play Wrenn and Six and Timely. So I think I'm just discarding the Timely. I really don't think that discarding the Emrakul makes any sense. That's why I could play Wrenn and Six and play the Timely off the treasure token. Which means I'm discarding this Prismari Command, which does not feel like the best plan. But it's actually not too bad. Yeah, all right. You think I discard Wrenn and Timely? Sure. I went the entire other direction, but that's okay. So, yeah, I suppose so. I can play Wrenn and Six, ping the Ballista, but I can't play the Timely without getting a Dwarf into play first. Which will mean, so no matter what, I can't get as many tokens as I thought I was going to be able to here. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Mad MTG, that we should have kept the Prismari Command there. But I'm not going to worry about it. I do want to get this Walking Ballista off the table, though. I think the right way to do this is we play the Dwarven Mine, play the Wrenn and Six, ping the Walking Ballista. They should play Timely and Wrenn and Tika or ping. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to ping the Walking Ballista, and we'll see if they kill my... Okay, good. That's what I wanted them to do, because now I can play the Timely for full value. Where if they hadn't killed my treasure token, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Why didn't you ping first? Because then I can't play the Timely for creatures. Because they only have one creature, and then I have a creature. They have to have more creatures than I do for me to generate tokens.
You can run, but you can't climb.
So I saved myself 1 damage there, but I lost a dwarf token. But I have 3 soldiers and a fetch land in hand. So I'm not terribly worried about it. You're surprised I play the mine? I mean, I have more. No, they didn't have to kill the dwarf, but I figured they would because they're worried about me drawing more creativities, as they should be. You think my discard choice was better than yours? I mean, I don't know. It did. Yeah, I got the raid, Phoenix. It triggered. Yikes. Wait a minute, what? Really? Okay. Mad MTG. Don't be a goon. I'm not a pro. Don't let anyone on this internet thing. You don't gotta be no Reed Duke to be on here. Oh, kind of running short on time here, deck. I really need a good one. Is pro a compliment or an insult? Twitter confuses you. That's okay. It confuses all of us. I don't think there's a clear answer. They should tick up here because I can put a third creature into play and attack down the Karn if they tick down. Now, admittedly, they could get Ensnaring Bridge, which would be a pain for me, but not so much so that I think I'd actually be in trouble. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be convenient to the hand that I have at the moment. Nice. I'm 4-1 with it right now, Phoenix. It's a very good deck. Oh, no. And a Grafdigger's Cage? Don't do it, opponent. Don't do it. It doesn't work. That's funny. That's really funny. I like you, opponent. You're one of the good ones. I was really hoping I was going to draw the Indomitable immediately so I could show them. Yikes. Right! Get him dead, lads! Hi-ho, hi-ho. Oh, yes, yeah. We use the zoomer to boomer command as I created it. No, boomer to zoomer. Sorry, boomer to zoomer. Me talking to all these hep cats. Good old Blast Zone against my deck. Certainly a choice. Good lord. Just over here flooding like the Nile. Oh, this is just a mom deck. I guess they're cranking that for the second Wrenn and Six. Really hoping I can draw some kind of business soon. I still don't have white mana. But I am going to have to start blocking soon, so... So I have 8 mana for an Eldrazi or 7 mana otherwise. I'm assuming they have... Yeah, I should have done it. I just kind of punted that, Roy. My apologies. Well, that's a yikes. I mean, I think I put that in my tweet, if that matters. There, I'm going to update the stream title. No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I have updated it to reflect that it's modern Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day modern. They have an Ulamog? No. All is dust? Sure. All right, opponent, I'm at 2. And this is one of those games where Velomachus would have been great, right? Whoa, we got another raid. What's going on? Eggy Benny with the raid of Mag.
You can run, but you can't glide.
No, Warping Whale, come on. Fudge. Yeah, the deck's sweet. We just crapped out against Etron. It was very, 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 very easy to win that game if we had just drawn a little bit better. But sometimes you don't, and that's fine. Let's see. If I had Prismari commanded, we would have hit these. No, we wouldn't have gotten there, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's just not our game. Forsooth, extend your welcomes and greetings, fine people of this thrice blessed Twitch chat, for I bring good tidings from the faraway eastern lands of Russia. Hi, Shauna. Apparently today I decided it's Russia. Shall crack this lovely Waterloo amber in your honor, sir. Top forward a 40-man event with Velomachus today. We split the top 4, so I don't know if I would have won. Well, I mean, you top forward it. Well played. This freaking Velomachus deck is taking off, dude. I feel good about that. I really do. For anyone who's new to that whole nonsense, my article is still linked. I am working on a new article, but that one is still relevant and excellent. So this hand is not perfect, but it's one fetch land away from being insane. So this hand is not perfect, but it's like one fetch land away from being insane. No. I mean, it's fine, but I need it to be on the play. Unless I hit that fetch land, then I'm going to be a happy camper. Okay, so I could gamble on Explore here, and I think I should, because this Stoneforge is just not... They're not going to cast a spell this turn. I mean, once I tap out, they'll probably cast Teferi, because that's just how this day is going so far, but, you know, you can't play around everything. All right, so you're hoping to draw a land there. I didn't. I'm hoping I draw a land this turn. I probably won't. The one of snow-covered island is going to really kick us in the teeth here, I guess. Not playing Mother of Runes. Stepmom? Yeah, Stepmom's okay. Hey, look, it's that Teferi I said was going to happen. Yay! It's a good thing I don't care too much, like, just generally. Like, if we draw the fetch land here, we could be okay fairly quickly. My opponent did not tick up or down their Teferi Time Raveler. Excellent. Everything's falling into place. I guess the baller move, since I just made my land drop this turn, is we got the Triome, so let's go Sacred Foundry, play my own Teferi, and the Bant deck should be pretty upset about that, and we just put their Stoneforge off the table. Seems good. Got some neat comments. And that, you know what? Not only is the deck quite good, but people are going to talk about it, and let me just... I'm like, everything aside, I don't know if I'm vain, or if I just appreciate the appreciation of people who are, like, not looking for someone to make those sick prowess plays. No, what they want to see is someone who brought something nonsense to the table and actually managed to do reasonable. I see you are playing some kind of bullshit, but I can't understand. What? I know you're Russian and not German, but my brain defaults to German. This is some kind of bullshit you are playing here? This, yeah? This is how we are saying crap? Nonsense, yeah? Does my inner monologue have a German accent? Only when it's being villainous. Hast du ein shovel for all this crap you are sending at me? Is there some way we can work out a system where you will clean up this crap you are shoveling at me? Or is this... no? Alright, I guess we just win. I mean, whatever. Wait, I have the sound clip. What are you gonna do? Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Play Counterspell. Whee! Combat and we make a go. Smash. Trigger. Oh, now you got me. What are you gonna do? Activate Batterskull? Oh, they floated a mana. Interesting choice. ¿Por qué? Hey, now to be fair, Strifo, they have the same prison effect in play. My deck is just way better at playing through it. It's not my fault Bant Garbage has no answer for Teferi in their Teferi deck. I packed answers for Teferi. Because I'm not a scrub. Playing Bant nonsense. I don't think I want to pack Veil of Summer, and the usual reason that I have for that is, one, if they land their Teferi first, it's a useless card, and two, a lot of their counter magic and interaction just doesn't care. They'll play Path to Exile. That doesn't care about Veil of Summer, although Path to Exile can't target Emrakul, so maybe that's not a problem. But they could be playing Spell Queller. It's fairly frequent. I hit Bant nonsense the other day. They had mainboard blast and sideboard back to basics. I hate it, but easy 2-0. That's because you're a god, Chase. God, I love watching you play. You just make it so easy. It looks so easy. I kind of want more bolts back. Mystical Dispute is good at stopping their Teferi and messing with their early plays. Maybe I want less Remand, because this card is the worst card if they do land their Teferi on the play. And more Lightning Bolt means I have a chance to ping off a Noble Hierarch, assuming they lead on Noble Hierarch. You beat Esper, Blue Moon, Etron, Heliod, and Humans. Lost to Boomer Jund, of all things. I mean, Boomer Jund is a deck for a reason. The Zoomers are playing Jund Shadow, but the Boomers still come out sometimes. All right, I'm going to keep this. It's not great, but it's got a plan. Roll up to 5 mana. Spaghetti. Oh, Chase, did you see my tweet where I was setting my vodka cream sauce on fire? It's a quality tweet.
What's the best part about making a pasta rosé sauce with this recipe? Fire makes it good. I take your vodka, not straight from the bottle.
Get your vodka in there.
Sucker in there. Nice long distance lighter.
Oh yeah. Ah, Homer. Wisdom for the ages. I don't know the reason, but fire made it good. You could hear the nerves. That's like the 5th time I've done it so far, so I'm pretty nerveless now. Although it was the first couple times I did it. I was like, I don't want to set the place on fire. The key I found out is not using too crappy of a vodka. The worse the vodka, the more impurities. And so I have a reasonable vodka, and then I have like a cheap vodka. And let me tell you something. The cheap vodka, when I lit it on fire, it was like a fireball. It was fine. Like, it didn't do any damage, but it was like considerably more aggressive. I was very surprised. I was like, oh, Ooh. Down boy. Play Teferi. Do it. Sort of fire nice. Okay. Your cheap vodka tasted like cinnamon hearts? What? Oh, fireball? It did not. What's up, Pogo Shark? I mean, fireball is fine for what it is. It's not. If you think you're getting something, some kind of premium, liquor product, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But it's fine for what it is. I need to try Screwball when I go to the States again. Force? Shit, they actually had it. Okay, that's really bad. Unless I top deck a land, then it's fine. Right. Yeah, I think you want vodka there. I think if there was all of the different flavor noids of gin in Fireball, it would be a considerably worse product. I don't think anyone would enjoy it. I mean, I like gin. I used to think that I would hate gin. First time you had Fireball was mixed with absinthe and cinnamon. Well, that sounds fantastic. Yes, but it sounds fantastic tasting. I have absinthe. Yeah, I mean, gin. I used to think I was not going to like it because I'd had sort of mediocre gins and they were overly juniper-y, whatever. Here only was. So you're drinking this entire bottle of Everclear on your own. Well, that was probably a mistake, friend. I'm going to call out people in my channel here for making bad life choices, but that maybe was not the best one. Oh, no. Your teammate top-aided with this. Oh. Modern blue-red dragons. Sprite dragon. Sure. Talisman of Creativity. All right. One up. Galazeth Prismari. Okay. Goldspan dragon. Shark Typhoon. Jace. Cryptic Command. So it's kind of a pioneer deck. That's crazy. Were they playing Silumgar Scorn? They were. Good for them. Not gonna have to play that anymore. Roy, people aren't ever talking about the real victim of... Yeah, exactly. People aren't talking about the real victim of the printing of Counterspell. Silumgar's Scorn. No one's ever going to register it again. What are we going to do? Why would anyone ever register Silumgar's Scorn when they could register Counterspell? It's got to be Jace, right? Better spell, sure. People played fairies in Modern. They'll play Silumgar Scorn. Wow. Land, please? Untap land? Shit. That is a really good draw. So I can wait till they attack, but that seems... Yeah. Are we sure Counterspell is getting unbanned? It's not banned in Modern. It's just never been printed in Modern. Unless you're saying something about like a soft ban because it's just not good enough. Okay. I'm just going to count on my Breach resolving next turn. I could have destroyed the Sword of Fire and Ice, but the Breach is currently lethal. So I'm just going to count on them not having drawn even more counter magic. take out the breach and put in the take out the dragons and put in the breach package. You get the same deck, much stronger but not as cool. I think that is reductionist of the actual problems therein. So what I'm saying, Shauna, is that the ability to play the breach at their end of turn into stuff on your turn is, I mean, you're just in a totally different bracket. They've only got 3 mana open. If it's a spell queller, they can play it, but they can't counter breach with it. However, they can sacrifice enough permanents that if they block with the spell queller, sacrifice everything and leave Ice Fang and the sword in play, I will die. I'm not playing around that. I don't care. If they have exactly that sequence, that's fine. I am happy to lose to that. We haven't seen a spell queller of them yet, but they didn't float the mana. Okay, they're just dead. Got it. Damn it, Roy! They've got permanents left. Shit, how am I gonna win? Oh, right. Lethal. You wonder why they played the sword after attacking if they didn't have a blocker. Well, they did draw a card. Not to point out the obvious, but when they dealt damage, they did draw a card. Permanent count greater than 0, not a true victory. That's right. It wasn't a total annihilation. What's up, King? What's up, Skull Clamp MTG? I'm just hanging out here with my crown and my many indentured servants. Huh. Boy, this man is a little crappy, huh? Yeah, I'm kind of the four color plus person. That's my deal. All right, we've got 10 fetches and almost. Termagurf says hi to you guys. Everyone in chat. Termagurf says hi. I'm gonna keep this kind of sketchy hand. Although, no, I'm not. Without Wrenn and Six, that's just untenable. This is so much better. Well done, me. Just pat myself right on the back for that one. We got more lands in our deck than anything else. So. They're on a Luris deck. Could be Hammer Time, could be Burn, could be Prowess, could be Jun Shadow. So there's really no particular direction it's easy to hedge in. It's one thing that's bad about the Velomachus deck. You can't play Omnath in that. I think you mean you get to not play Omnath. I'm not entirely sure. You know, English is not your first language, so I understand the mistake. But I mean, pretty sure you mean you get to not play Omnath. I mean, I like Omnath, but you don't even like Omnath. I love Omnath. I mean, I like Omnath in like Niftalite. For some reason, I just hate those 5-color Escape Shift decks. I've been really enjoying throwing the Spaghetti Mom at people, though, so maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. Oh, yeah, they're on the Luris Spring to Light deck. Okay. Well, this Teferi is incredibly important. Or it will be in the future. Luckily, we should be able to set up for it with Prismari Command. My matchup against this deck is not too bad thus far. Still in the honeymoon period with Omnath. That's fair. That's fair. So if they have Drown or Mana Leak, they'll be able to hit my Wrenn and Six here. Now, I think they'll let my Prismari Command resolve at their end step. And it's kind of a plus, like it's kind of a all upside for me here, so. Well, that's awkward. Okay, so I don't want creativity yet. I'm really tempted to toss one of these Teferis. I think I'm going to. I think that is, in fact, correct. If I draw a land, I can probably resolve the Teferi. I did not, but that means I can get this Wrenn and Six down. Most likely. But let's see how their respect is. It's currently performing way better than Uro for me, and my win rate has grown considerably since I started playing Omnath in my 4-color soup decks. Call now and get your own place. I'm so upset about that play. Oh my god, why would you do that? I'm so upset. It's fine. Alright. Passing the turn. God damn it. That was a really, really good play. I mean, I'm not... Are you freaking serious? God, that sucks. Alright. Well, at least they don't actually play anything powerful on 4, but like, holy crap. That was savage and a half. Jesus. I don't even know what to say to that. At least I drew a land. I would 100% remanded it because they don't have a counter in hand or the 4 for 2. No, they specifically said they weren't stream sniping Pogo, and I'm not. I mean, I don't even go down that road. I don't consider stream sniping doesn't exist on my stream. I don't believe it. I just won't believe it. The only time stream sniping ever is real is if someone said they stream sniped. But stream sniping as a hypothetical just doesn't exist. Thanks for the follow there, Junderdome. My feeling on stream sniping is the only way that it's ever existed is if someone literally confirmed that they did it. As was the case with Salty Steve this week, apparently. Yeah, exactly. They could have just hard cast the Force, but the fact that they pitched for it meant that they were theoretically playing around Remand in a way that was like really, yeah. God damn it. Yeah. This is one of those games where we're just gonna get screwed. Someone said about something about them running out of counter magic. Yeah, this deck doesn't run out of counter magic. I've played it and I've played against it enough times. They don't ever run out of counter magic. The deck is like, it's like 15 counter spells, many of which are what do you call it? Archmage's Charm. So running them out of counter magic is just not normally tenable. Like, they pitched a logic knot to their Force of Negation. That's how little they care. And now they have 7 mana, so they have Snap Cryptic available. So it's like the amount of card advantage they're going to be able to generate from here on is just going to be brutal. Our only hope at this point is going to be EOT, Emrakul, and then my turn, Emrakul again. Breach into Breach. Just because they so brutally disrupted my mana, my ability to try to get a Wrenn and Six into play. Archmage's turn to draw. Cling to Dust to draw. Yeah, they have Cling to Dust in their graveyard now too. So they have a draw engine set up. So there's basically no more outs. Once they counter this and then I go to my draw step, I'm probably just going to concede. I mean, I could try to put Indomitable Creativity on. I mean, I will, but if they have an out for it. Try the 4-color As Foretold Living End Balance decks ever? Yeah, I have. I think I 4-1'd with it the first time I took it out, and I was just like, huh, well, that was fun. I'm done. Fiddle push. Sure. You're down for some combo control? I just didn't find the deck very interesting. Like, it was just too easy. Like, it's just like, cycle my shit, counter your spell, here's all of my creatures, I win. Or I don't. Like, I don't know. And I'm not saying it's not an interesting deck. It is, and there is a lot of play to it. But like, I don't know. Sometimes if I take a deck out and the first time out it's just way too easy for me, I'm just like, nah, I don't know about this one. Yeah. Okay. So I always end up doing my sideboarding the same way, where I cut the lightning bolts at first, and then I realize that Explore is actually worse in the matchup because it's not about speed. Generally, this is quite a good matchup for us. They just had an unbelievable sequence in that first game. Abrupt Decaying my treasure token wasn't relevant until it absolutely was. But this player very much is sort of knows exactly what matters, and the mana advantage in the early game is a big deal in this kind of fight. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, Velomachus Turns is fantastic. We're going to play that next. I just wanted to record this because this is what I went into the challenge with, and I do believe that this is a good list. However, similar to Velomachus Turns, it's suffering a little bit from people playing Force of Negation. Okay, that's a great draw. That was not a great draw. Okay, deck. I need you to stop screwing me over with land count. We're on 24 lands, and I would like to be able to draw my 4th land by turn 4 at least once. Perhaps the answer is, in fact, that I should have been playing more lands. Who knows? Whee! Are you kidding me? Like, seriously? This crap. I don't believe this. Alright. Alright. I mean, one time for the one time. Do not pitch Force again. I will lose my stuff. I will be very upsetty. Oh, thank God. Cling? Nope. Alright. Well, made the mistake of tapping all my green mana. I specifically fetched out the Stomping Ground so I'd have an extra green so that I'd be able to leave green mana up there. But, yeah, no. Sometimes you make bad choices, and it's okay. Yep, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Okay, that kind of looks like a desperation move, considering they didn't kill my Wrenn and Six. They might be just like going to play a like Abrupt Decay here, but I have Veil with 2 mana to back it up, so I feel like they shouldn't. And then if I were to breach them right afterwards, they'd be pretty upset about it. So let's get a mine. Ha! And they called it a mine. A mine! Oop. Now the thing is, they're about to go to 5 mana, which means they could bring to light for a Valky, which means they do have... When Teferi 3 comes down, maybe, we'll see. I do have Breach plus Veil on their end step, so I think that's where I'm at 406 long. And then if they have a way around that, then we play the Teferi. So, and I have a Creativity after that, so like, this right here, this is the, yeah, Veil stops the exile, but I was talking about going for like a main phase Emrakul. What are they digging so hard for? I mean, not that I care, but I... But you're right, Veil does stop the exile from Valky. And I would have had enough mana for it, so you're right. I easily could have done that. Yeah. The opponent's deck is a Aspiring Spike special. It is a Luris blue-black control deck featuring Bring to Light as well as Snapcaster Mages. And the Bring to Light basically just for Valky and Damnation, the mono-black Wrath. Spaghetti! Mana Leak! Yeah, I'll fight you. Need help brewing a deck, you're not sure where to go. Well, what is the space you're interested in brewing in? I mean, I don't know if more than anyone in existence is a reasonable description of it, but a lot. He is an exceptionally good Magic the Gathering player, so he's definitely able to 5-0 with some decks that are not that good. But this one is I don't think this one fits that description. Okay, the only thing I'm annoyed about here is how fast my opponent's making all these decisions. It's incredibly tilting. I am never able to play these decks this quickly again in this kind of matchup, and I'm frustrated by my failure. Sure, but like some of the decks that he makes are like the brought back mid-range deck where like you have to know it inside out. But this BTL, this Bring to Light Luris deck, there were multiple people in last weekend's challenge that were able to do very well with it. So I don't think this deck qualifies in the same space. But I do agree with you that, I mean, he certainly is like the modern Whisperer. He's able to. Okay, this feels like they were digging for a counterspell. Kind of like Strifeful Pile. Yeah, a little bit. They only have 4 mana available here, which probably means they don't have a double counter. The problem is if they have the Bring to Light. Well, I can go to combat first, because Creativity doesn't give my token haste. Also, am I down? I'm down 3 breaches. That is really bad. Okay. I want 2 spaghettis. Dose. Give me the deuce. I've been able to pilot Strifo Pile to reasonable success. Sometimes. Okay. And then our out right now for them going dos spaghetti, por favor. Our out right now for them going for Bring to Light for Valky is going to be Mystical Dispute on the Bring to Light. Hopefully they can't defend it. And then even if they do get the Valky, we can just bolt it, and they have an Emrakul in exile that I don't reasonably think that they could ever cast. I'm hoping they don't have a land drop, because that means my counter on the BTL is much more clear. Not necessarily, though. They could easily have a Mystical Dispute or a Veil of Summer. Yeah, I'd rather you didn't, though. Got him! Okay, opponent must be a zoomer. Nobody makes decisions that quickly without being like 15. Makes me think of the episode of King of the Hill where Bobby has too much sugar. Oh my god, dude, this card is so freaking beautiful. Ugh. Just everything about this is just, Tap Natch. Tap Natch. Alright. Yeah, I am writing an article about the entire family of spaghetti decks from this week, and it is pasta themed. The headings include spaghetti and breach balls, primavera, carbonara, puttanesca, and radiatori. Suffice to say, in some form or fashion, MTG Kitchen is back. Not really, but kind of. The thing about Spike's deck is that it has no ability to be proactive, like at all. And I don't know, man. In Modern, is that really what you want to be doing? I'm not saying that Spike isn't incredibly successful with it, but it's just something that kind of puts my alarm bells off, and I'm like, really? This is what you want to do? Just, your plan is nothing? Lump sat alone in a boggy marsh, totally motionless, tap for her heart. Mud flowed up into Lump's pajamas. She totally confused all the passing piranhas. She's Lump, she's in my bed. Any POTUS fans, Presidents of the United States of America? Not the actual ones, like the band. I mean, you could be fans of most presidents, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. Any Jimmy Carter fans in chat? And now, to dedicate this statue to 41st? Let's see if I can count backwards. 39th? Do Peaches. I was just watching an episode of King of the Hill, and there's a little plot line where Hank and Peggy are trying to get pregnant again, but Hank's got a narrow urethra, so he's not. Anyway, he goes to the guitar player place, and the guy's like, "Hank, you ever heard of Peaches?" He's like, "Oh, I think so. I could probably fake my way through it. Going to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. No, peaches." So, but this is a quality rack song. Quality rack song. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Peaches come from a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. And if I could have my little way, well, I'd eat peaches every day. Sun soaking out in the shade. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Yeah, King of the Hills, gas. It surprisingly describes a lot of like Southern Ontario life too, because it's very sprawling and empty, and so it has a sort of, I think, the same kind of vibe as Texas in some ways. It's just like very small towny. I want them to counter this. It's they don't have Cryptic Command up. What are you listening to? Do you not know the song Peaches, Skullclamp? I thought you were American. The band is the Presidents of the United States of America. But that would be compulsory listening, like Rush for Canadians. You can also choose Grateful Dead. It's just a mandatory high school course. Really? Okay. So this means they have a second force? Okay. Well, I hope that bucket is clean because I'm about to vomit. Snow-covered mountain, abrupt decay. Okay. They did hit another land off my deck. I was really hoping. Yeah, I do not have enough mana here. Crap. I do if they have Mana Leak, which was their 2 mana counter of choice thus far. So, I'm jamming. Jamming! Jamming! Opt. Opt? Force negation? Nope. Spaghetti Strax again. Yahoo! You're like fringe American. You live in the mountains, less flags, more bears. Gotcha. So you're basically Canadian. All right, good clean win against the Luris BTL deck, which I have really not had a problem with this list. I really jam bam combo slam. Come on and jam, and welcome to the slam. Hey, you, what you gonna do? Say breach, baby, breach. Hey, you, what you gonna do? Say nah, 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 nah. Hey, you, what you gonna do? Opponent is Pig Norton. No companion. I'm not gonna keep this. There's just like a reasonable chance Lightning Bolt lines up against their deck. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Oh, sorry, buddy. Oh, geez, can I help you out of the ditch there, eh? Just out for a rep, are you, bud? Just out for a rep? Yep, they always have it. They always have it. Just don't even bother. There's no point. Life. Don't talk to me about life. I feel inspired to write into the chat to my opponent after that play. I think you ought to know I'm feeling very depressed. This terrible pain and all the diodes down my left side. All right, opponent. I'm some kind of red-green garbage deck. You can do whatever you want. You're allowed to run 300 Mutagenic Growth, right? I mean, it seems to be the case. Like, I'm not lying. Like, I played against Red-White Prowess the last league, and they mulled to 5, and they had double Mutagenic Growth. Like, it was like, what is even happening? Like, why is this a thing? And of course they have Lavender. And there's no way in the world they'll flash it back to push damage. 0% chance. So we're basically just screwed. Yep. You have trouble with Prowess because the only answer to fight against Prowess is to play a deck with black removal spells. It's the only way to deal with this deck. You have to play black removal spells. Fatal Push, Drown and Lock, others, Abrupt Decay, Go for the Throat, Terminate. That's what UMAD was playing. Well, maybe we'll play UMAD's deck next. That actually looked really good. I think that is what I'm going to do. It's Grixis Breach. Path works. Path works, but Path sucks. Rip that mana symbol. Ay. 3, 4, 5. All right. So I have double creativity in my hand, so... Also, I've had someone punt this before, which is pretty funny. So, let's see. Nope. No, they didn't punt it. Play Abzan Soul Sisters? I'd really rather not. Wait, 5 plus 2. Yeah. So if they don't draw any spells in the next couple turns, we could win this. Well, we're dead. Four mana Stone Rain. Let's go. So we died on turn 4 there. Opponent won the die roll, and thus we lost the match. Potentially. I mean, I don't actually think that's completely true, but feeling likely. The thing is, if I was going to veto the Duskrows, if I was going to play something like Soul Sisters, it would mean I for sure would run into only Greentron. For sure. There's no other option. I would hit literally all Greentron. There's no option. There's no chance. With these decks, I've been very, very lucky in that I've consistently hit Greentron, and usually Etron is a pretty clean matchup for this deck. Although, as we saw at the beginning of this league, you can lose to Etron, but that's true of literally any deck can lose to Etron if they have one of their nut draw. Oh my god, that hand is garbage. This hand is like equally garbage in the matchup, but I'm gonna keep it because it's a keepable 7. Shipping Veto and Dina, it's a deck now. Probably should have kept the land rather than the third Prismari Command, huh? Opponent mulls to 5, though. Maybe this game they won't have a Mutagenic Growth. Can we talk about the fact that I lightning bolted one of their creatures last game and it just didn't die? Like, what kind of garbage? Oh. Mutagenic Growth wasn't a problem until it was. This has been another complaint brought to you from the tautological arguments in MTG fandom. If you'd like to subscribe to our newsletter, click on the link below the YouTube video. Damn 10, 12 Soul Sisters and go. Let's go! Get in the fucking truck, girls! Mutagenic growth. No, not that. Manamorphose. Do it. Oh, yeah, no, I can work with that. Do I want to shock a Sacred Foundry? No. Well, I didn't, but now I am. The reason I could have not is because I'm going to cast a Prismari Command this turn, hopefully. And, as a Magic player, I hate Phyrexian mana. But sometimes it just seems like there's no relief. Did they put it on top? No, they put it on the bottom. Shit, what a shock. Is there no help? If this sounds familiar, we can help. Damn, I really want to cast one of these Prismari commands, but I guess I can do that next turn. Nope. It's a bad prowess deck. Nope. 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 Okay, they put it on top. It's good to know. Whee! Mm-hmm. No, that's so reasonable. Yep. It's like a lightning bolt when you're at 3 life. It's like you spell pierce. Who would have guessed it? Figures. Alright. You guys ready for the sickest Prismari command of all time? Survey says, hey, you know what that means. I'm fetching for a Dwarven Mine. You all know what that means. It's time for another spaghetti dinner. Hey, look, they mull to 5 and they have as many cards as I do. I'm playing a control deck. Not really, but it is insane how many cards the blue-red prowess deck can draw. While just sort of incidentally killing you. Okay, they have 0 cards in hand. Let's top deck creativity one time. Okay, that's not quite what I wanted, but shock plus rummage. Yeah. Seriously? Yeah? This is... Alright. Alright. Fine. You got it, deck. We haven't seen any creativities or breaches yet. Super. Super duper. Opponent mulls to 5, stumbling all over the place. We've had reasonable interaction, but we can't actually find any of our win conditions. It could just happen next turn. It could just happen next turn. Nothing to worry about until we're dead, which we will be soon. 5 mana or 5 damage lightning bolts are incoming, but there's nothing to worry about because Spaghetti Mom has our back. Checking their graveyard. Yeah, they haven't played a Lavender yet. All right. Bye, opponent. And spaghetti. Alright, we did it. One time the deck pulled through for us. But unfortunately, as I mentioned before, we lost the die roll, thus we lost game 1, and thus we are likely to be dead. But we can still play out game 3, goddammit. Consarn it. Alright. Alright, now, ladies. He's weak dwarf spaghetti. His dwarf spaghetti. Wrenn and Six lifts so heavy. Aether Gust is ready. Mystic Dispute. Steady. Shut up. Rapping is hard. I went to school for jazz performance and they gave me a degree in music. It's not my fault. The system's fault. Alright. Mods start a prediction. Do they have a mutagenic growth here? Survey says. Goddamn likely. Whoa! One time the good guys win, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. What? Why are you stopping, opponent? It's like you don't know that you've won already. That's not how this goes. Okay, but when we top deck a second lightning bolt, shit. Oh my god, that's so good. I mean, it's not that good, but it's really good for me. Okay. What? Prowess deck, why? Why did you just hit me for one, Prowess deck? What? Yeah. Resolves. Neat. You guys know that in Legacy, Bone Crusher Giant has made a splash in Delver decks? It's true. I don't know what they're doing with this one in Modern, but I just told you a true fact. Don't really think it's a good fit for this deck, but whatever. Pog, I guess. I wonder if they're trying to play around the fact that they think I can get dwarves on them. Why not Island? I didn't realize I'd drawn one. Also, in theory, I might want dwarfs this turn. We'll see what they... Jesus. We'll see what they do with their sprite. They're going all in. They have a mutagenic growth? Am I just dead? Oh my god, I am. That's... yeah. That's on me. I could have gone to 1, but they just killed me on turn 4. Okay. They spent 3 turns doing basically no damage, and then they just killed me. Nonsense. Anyway, I mean, I wanted the threat of the Dwarven Mine there, XD threat, but apparently I needed to go down the road of preserving my life total slightly more. Bouncing their 4-3 wasn't good enough. I left the 1-1 on the table and I died. So maybe the island was better. But just generally speaking, that matchup is abhorrent, so... the island in this deck is for Blood Moon matchups more than anything else, and in almost every other case, it's usually correct to put your 3 mountains into play by turn 3 so that from there on your Dwarven Mines are live. So maybe I was just playing a little bit too much off of instinct, or maybe in a large percentage of matches what I did was correct, but obviously there we died. Opponent mulls to 6, no companion. Man, I've been bit in the ass a lot lately by keeping hands like this. I'm going to keep it anyway, but maybe I should be aggressively mulling, but I'm not going to. Opponent mulls to 5. Okay, so it's Green Tron with no Gigantha? Or just someone who's very unlucky. Scalding Tarn. Okay. Just an unlucky son of a gun. I'm going to play Steam Vents first. If I draw a Wrenn and Six next turn, I want to use this Bloodstained Mire for green. But playing the Steam Vents tapped guarantees that that's 2 damage I'm not taking. Opponent does not have a second land. I see. I see. I'm going to shock the Foundry. I don't know what matchup I'm in here, but I feel comfortable doing this. One of the things I learned from the great brewer and player Lawson Jeffrey Zandy is a lot of the time in Modern, while it's scary to just like shock yourself like 8 times in the early game, there's so many matchups where it's much superior to not, in that you will end up in a position where you have all your colors available and then you can sort of mitigate your damage loss later. So it sort of pays dividends to like advance your tempo in the early game, and then later on, while you will have taken the damage in the early game, you can use those. Oh shit, I did not think this was going to be prowess. Not that that's a big deal, but I didn't think it was going to be prowess. Oh, spaghetti. Never mind. I played the island. See, this is what I'm talking about. And like obviously that was a punt, but like this is what I'm talking about. Like just get your mountains into play. Obviously don't punt additionally, but just get your damn mountains into play. Manamorphose. Sprite Dragon. That works. All right. Okay. So we're against blue-red prowess again, by the way. But luckily they kept a really crappy hand in game 1. It looks like they're going to get got. So this is what you need to happen to beat this deck. They got to have one really bad game, and then maybe you get them in the other 2. All right, you're up, opponent. You have no outs in your entire deck. Damn right you don't. Oh, that's a good Zedbird clip. I'm very happy that I found that. All right, so 1, no, not 1. This is the other matchup. This plus this, and then we go these plus these. All right. Let's guard. Let's flippin' guard. We're going to get a 3-2, but we're going to beat a prowess deck to do it, so I'll take it. And one of our losses, again, was to Etron, which is kind of a coin toss. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a heck of a hand right there. Let's get that pity chest. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Any chest is a good chest. Yeah. Okay. Is dwarf spaghetti, dwarf spaghetti, dwarf spaghetti, dwarf spaghetti, dwarf is spaghetti already. It's got a dwarf spaghetti, spaghetti and the dwarf spaghetti. If you don't want your pity chests, then feel free to hand them over. Oh, no, I didn't say that. I said exactly the opposite, actually. Symbol basically is automator here. I don't know what that means, but thank you, I guess. I don't know what to make of that comment. Yeah, I did see that you said skull in there. I didn't say anything about it because I didn't know what to. Dan the Automator, the DJ producer, Scratch guy. Oh, okay. I have no idea who that is, but thank you. Maybe. Thanks. Maybe. Not sure. Pity chest is us going infinite. I'll take it. 100 play points. Dude, that's all I need to keep the channel going, honestly. And then all the wonderful people who send in money for my garbage content production. Okay, so they're going with the Sprite Dragon or are they going with the Lava Dart? Sprite Dragon, okay. Opponent takes the Miser line. He's Deltron's buddy. I have no idea who Deltron is. You live off pity, excuse me. Don't we all? Alright. So unfortunately they've already buffed their Sprite Dragon. Luckily they did lose a Lava Dart there, as well as a bunch of damage that they could have done to me, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm pretty sure Mystical Dispute is kill on sight here. Hieroglyphics, Deltron 3030, good album. No, I have no idea what any of those words are. I think you're making stuff up. So I could fetch Shock here to prevent this opt, but that's literally exactly as much damage as it just dealt by resolving, so. Anything by Deltron 3030 is solid. Good to know. Well, we are going to get Emrakul into play next turn. Don't know if it's going to win me the game, but if they attack my Wrenn and Six, it will. Oh my god, what are you doing? These are the matches you win against this deck, where they actually attack your damn Wrenn and Six. They really should not. I mean, they have 2 prowess creatures and 4 cards in hand, so we can still lose this even with an Emrakul in play, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, realistically, there's no other choice. I could Aether Gust plus Prismari Command, but that feels way worse than what I'm about to do. Spaghetti! You would know him as the genie rapper on that Gorilla song. Oh, someone the funky Homo sapien? Del the funky Homo sapien? I thought that was his actual like rap name. Yeah, Del the funky Homo sapien. That is someone I'm vaguely aware of. Although just because he was in that one Gorilla song doesn't make me immediately think that he's particularly good. Del the funky Homo sapien is his rap name. Isn't that his everything name then? Good for him for being so prolific that he could have like a production name and a rap name. All right, so this is my 4-color creative breach deck. This was a, let's call it an original idea to mash up the Velomachus Taking Turns shell with a Indomitable Creativity through the breach list that I played from Spiderspace. Now, his list was Jeskai. I'll throw it on stream in a second here, and if you look in the chat, you can see a link to my YouTube where you can get the video of that. I personally think that this version is more objectively powerful and doesn't run things like 4 Lightning Bolt plus 4 Lightning Helix, which personally I feel like is a bit overkill against some of the control decks in the format. And Modern is in such an incredibly skewed space that I feel like this is a better way to hedge against the broader metagame than it is against the specific prowess-centric metagame. Also, 4 Lightning Bolts and 4 Lightning Helix is not even enough to beat the blue-red prowess deck sometimes, especially if they have the mutagenic growths ready to go. This deck, by having access to timely reinforcements and Teferi Time Raveler, has more of a chance in the non-prowess matchups to excel, more of a chance in the non-hyper-aggressive matchups to excel, and on top of that, still has enough stuff in it to occasionally beat the prowess deck, as we just did. There is an idea in Magic deck building and competitive play that trying too hard to fix matchups that are unwinnable is going to lose you more percentage points than just hedging and shoring up the matchups that are already sort of medium to very good. And then the only thing that really matters is how many times do you hit those really horrible matchups on a given weekend. So if you were on the truly next level of modern play, what you would do is you would look at the matchup spread that each deck that you can play has and choose the one where the matchup spread best fits the metagame you think is about to happen. And we can see this happen every weekend in the challenges, in that one day there's 0 dredge decks in the top 32, and then literally the next day there's 2 in the top 8. And I refuse to believe, with the regularity with which that happens, that that is coincidental. What I believe happens is that there is a narrow enough selection of both decks that are good against other decks in the general matchup, or sideboard cards that people can tailor their decks with, where the results of a previous day's challenge, or even just the whole previous week, will heavily influence the challenges that happen on that weekend. Now, that happens in different ways. There are different segments of the player base which it affects differently, so it gets really endlessly complicated, which is why solving that is very, very difficult. But when you do a postmortem on the weekend challenges, you often see these sort of collections of decks where it's like, oh, this particular style of strategy did really well this weekend. And eventually, if you get ahead of it and predict what that was going to be, you could be in a really good place. In this case, the reason that the impetus for this deck's creation was that compared to the Velomachus turn stack, this does not lean so heavily on Indomitable Creativity, and we saw in some games where Through the Breach was a really big deal because people were spending time dealing with my dwarf tokens and they were unable to protect themselves from Through the Breach. Whereas on the flip side, sometimes the Indomitable Creativity just put an Emrakul into play a turn faster than people were ready for, or just the pure redundancy of it was very helpful. So building a deck where we can both play Creativity and Breach is not necessarily a bad thing. You do have to play more cards that are part of your combo package, but 12 is pretty svelte in terms of what combo packages are. And the deck we are about to play has a combo package very similar. This has been the banger, super exciting, super fun Velomachus turns deck that I've been playing in the last little while. There's 14 card sort of engine here, and the rest of the deck supports that. And we're going to try that out right meow on stream with some song requests. But to everyone who's been live in chat, thanks for joining me for that league. And for everyone in the future on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and check out any of my other videos that you are interested in. For everyone live, I'm opening up the song request feature, so you can type !SR in chat, followed by the name of the song you would like to hear, and the YouTube search bar nonsense is going to do its very best to find that song. If you help it out by using the artist name as well, you are more likely to get the song.
Magic is not for everyone. Consult your doctor before use.
Case in point, you could put in Ladies Night, but if you want Ladies Night by Kool and the Gang, you do that. Hey, Daniel from Brazil.